Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello everyone, welcome back to Painting Watercolours with me, Colin. This is a fishing smack or sloop and I'm just leaving a thin film of water on the paper and I've just padded out the areas where the sails are, so keep the paint off it. And into this I'm just going to drop some Naples yellow on the horizon line. It doesn't matter if you get the paint in the sails because these have sort of brownish sails on, and I'm actually going to keep it that colour. I'm not going to change it. Let it come into the sea, doesn't matter. Just create some interesting shapes. The water allows the paint to flow where it wants to go. And I'm going to take some cobalt blue. I'm just going to drop this in patches. Some into the middle, cobalt blue, neutral tint just to grey it. Just darken it a little bit more at the top. You see, I'm not really bothered about the strokes, but you worrying too much the water that you're going to put on it will really sort this out into a breezy, cloudy, saily day. Cobalt violet. We'll give you a run round of the colours in a minute. And I'm going to bring some in the sea. Cobalt violet, Naples yellow, cobalt blue, cobalt violet, Indian red, turquoise blue, French ultramarine, burnt umber and a neutral tint. Take some of this and add it to here. A little bit more neutral tint to grey that violet colour. Some of the turquoise blue, just create a bright spot where the boat is gently sailing. Bring the colours together. Some of the cobalt blue in there as well with some of the neutral tint. Bring it along the bottom. I love the grey that this makes. And then I'm going to take a kitchen towel. I'm just going to dampen it slightly and squeeze it out and open it a bit. This is so it's not as thirsty as it would be if it was dry. I'll put some raggedy edge bits on it. Pick out some nice areas and just roll this onto it. Just creating some cloud tops. Just creating some nice effects. Then I want to take a little bit of water and I just want to drop this in and allow this to spread. This will soften it and move the colour a little further without you having to do anything. And then I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay, your sky and sea is dry. When I say dry, the paper is still damp and it's still keeping nicely stretched. I just put a red line in with some Turner red, and I'm just going to take some Indian red. I'm just going to move it into there. I've re-wet the sail. We'll do each sail individually. You can use any red you have. These are only suggested colours on the palettes. You can choose your own colours. And just along the edge here, I'm just going to take a little line out and allow the paint to creep back on its own, just for a little bit of a light streak. I will be adding shadows to this, but I don't want the sails to run together. I'm going to take some of this manganese blue, and I think we'll just do a little bit on the boat. So I won't be using that again. Take some of the neutral tint and just add that to it. I just want to change its colour just a little bit. It is stronger than the sea colour. into that. I'm going to drop some French ultramarine. Don't know what these rails are called here. I'm just going to leave them blank for the minute. Take some more of the neutral tint and just darken that blue. I can lift a little out, leaving a stain behind. Dropping a little neutral tint while it's still damp into this blue, just working a shadow in on it. Then I want to come back to my original colour. Mix up two browny colours, Indian red, neutral tint. Just adding it down this side. We're going to do each sail individually. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit and then we'll put another shadow in on that, and we'll be doing the same for each sail. Now that's dried off a little bit, what we can do is take some of the darker colour of the Indian red and neutral tint, and we can begin to put some deeper shadow in, and it hopefully won't run too far. Using quite a fine pointed detail brush. I want to put some curls in on the sail. So I'm just dropping some colour in and just dragging it in the direction to the way that the sail is curling. And I'm going to let that dry and move on to the next sail. Front sail is dry. I re-wet this sail here. So I'm just taking some straightforward Indian red again. Basically the same procedures before. Get a coat on it. Remember, it will dry lighter. Going back to the first colour, Indian red and neutral tint. So there's three different shades of it. One just slowly getting darker and darker. Take the really dark shade and just a little bit darker on this edge because it's been overshadowed by the other sail. And then I'm going to let that one dry. Now that one's dry, we can come to the next one, the main sail. Once again, some Indian red. First bit of shadow on. Just flicking lines in it to give the sail some structure. A little darker on this side. Just to create a lighter streak on it. But what we can do is just put a little bit of the sea in. So I'm going to just drop some neutral tint in the cobalt blue, and I'm going to drop some neutral tint into the violet. Grey right off. I'm going to take some of the violet, and I'm just going to put a couple of these movement into the water. Just soften this out at the edges. Take some of the cobalt blue that has the neutral tint in. I want to take some neutral tint, put it back in here again, Indian red. May have dried out enough that we can now do this. We'll see. Just adding more shadow line as it's going behind the sail. Then we come to the last sail, some Indian red once again. With the neutral. Prow of the ship in. Take some of the cobalt blue and neutral tint. Just begin to drop some little wave patterns in while we're waiting for the rest of it to dry. A darker colour now, add a little bit of violet to that. Just as we come forward. Once again, just soften it out. I think this sail is dry enough to just add a darker shadow colour to it. Soften that in, it's dried out a little bit more than I thought it had. Just drop this line back in. I think that's all I want to do to that sail, and then we're going to let that dry. I think we'd better put the masts in. I'm going to make a bit of a funny colour over this. Take some Naples yellow, some of the cobalt blue, and sort of make a bit of bluey. See how it's going, an opaque bluey grey colour. Now that all that's dry, I've just restated the rigging from what I could see on the photograph where they are. If anybody's a sailor, I'm sure somebody would tell me there's a few missing. There probably might be. But now I'm just going to come and put some little white crests on some of the waves in the back here. And I'm just dragging the brush, let it run out of paint. Just going to allow the brush to dry out there. That's about all I want to put on this. If you're enjoying these videos, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Subscribers are welcome. And this is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.